You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 224 for the 26th of August 2018.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Now this week I've got an honorary dream girl. I've got a colleague from the world of podcasting who has been with the Disney Dream Girls when they were the Mini Minxes. He has been that little voice I could turn to whenever I had a dilemma or issue with regards to podcasting. He is the font of knowledge. He is the man behind the idea of Minxmas. He is Craig Lucas from Dis After Dark. Hello there, sir.
Well, that was a very nice introduction, wasn't it?
You're a very nice person.
Oh, thanks. So are you.
Oh, bless you. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Craig, he is from Liverpool, hence the accent.
My name's Ringo and I play the drums.
Craig is what we would term in the UK affectionately a Scouser. And I love your accent, mate. It's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. I love your accent too.
I don't think I've got an accent. It's just everybody else who's got one.
I feel the same, to be honest. We talk proper. Yous all talk weird.
We will try and keep Craig's Scouserisms to the minimum.
Yes, I'll work on it.
And we'll try and speak a little bit extra slowly so you can understand, because at times the Scouse accent, do it full speed, Craig, and then people get the idea.
Well, sometimes we talk in joined up writing when we get excited and you can't understand the word we say because we think it's boss and everything's boss and we're all boss and Ken Dodd's dad's dog's dead. Did you know that?
See what I mean? So he's going to speak really slowly and he's going to try and not talk about all these Scouserisms. But many moons ago we decided we were going to sort of connect up to old Skype and do a bit of recording and talk about Disney, because the way I got to know Craig was through a Disney meet, and I'm very fortunate in the next week or so I'm hoping that we can meet up again, because I've not actually seen you for eons.
It's got to be 2012 maybe?
Yeah.
2000, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to pop on over to Liverpool. We're going to catch up. Hopefully we'll make a pilgrimage to the Disney Store.
Our Disney Store's a bit like a car boot sale at the moment.
Is it? Are they selling everything off?
Everything just seems to be permanently on sale in there.
Yeah, it's summer. They get rid of all the stuff and then bring in a load of Christmas stuff.
I hope so.
As long as it's for adults, we don't care. Craig has been going to Disney since when? When did you first make your first trip?
1993 with my family. I can't remember much about it. Well, I was 19. I just started work. It was the first family holiday abroad.
Okay, so this was with your parents?
Yeah. It was the first holiday and my last holiday with them, basically. I've got fleeting memories of it. The uniforms are the thing that stand out. Because they're all basically exactly the same now as they were then. And then with Kerry, my wife, is 2001, and we stayed on International Drive, and we thought we needed a child to go with us. We didn't think adults could do Florida. So we kidnapped her cousin, who was 11, and we took him away. His auntie and uncle let us take him for 2 weeks.
So what made you want to go back after that first initial trip? What was the draw to go back?
We were a little bit down at that time as a couple. We had a lot going on, and there's no more magical place. I'd always talked about it with Kerry. One day we'll go back. One day I'll take you. It felt like it would never happen. And then one day we just went into a travel agent and just booked it. And this is in the old days when kids' places were free.
Yeah, true.
Do you remember them glory days? You just paid the tax for your kid.
Yeah.
So his holiday to Florida was basically 170 quid.
Wow. Now you can add a knot on that.
Not half. Well, now, next year's holiday, we're all premium economy in Virgin Atlantic. Each seat's cost us 1,700 odd quid.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's rewind before we look forward to the future.
Okay.
So you went with the relative and your wife, the lovely
Yep.
Kerry, and then when did you next go?
Well, it was 2009 was the next one. That was a villa holiday with all the family. Her mum and dad and her sister and her husband. And that was basically, we were going to go, I think it was 2008. 2007, and Kerry's mum had cancer, and we'd had to cancel so she could have her treatment and everything like that. So it was sort of something to look forward to, and so we cancelled it. We said we can always go again, and we did. 2009 villa holiday, yourluxuryvilla.com, Morag and Allen, wonderful villa in Claremont.
Okay. You went off-site, and Claremont is not exactly on the doorstep of Disney, is it?
It's not as far as you think. It's down the 192. If you get all the green traffic lights, it's off 27. You hang a right onto left onto the 192, and if you get green traffic lights, you can be there in 15 minutes. If you don't, it can be half an hour.
Okay, that's not too bad then. So after that trip, I know in the recent past you've had some on-site Disney trips. Tell us a little bit about them.
The first on-site, let's think, was 2014, and it was just us four, and it was a combination. So we did the first week at Port Orleans Riverside, and we had the Disney pixie dust sprinkled all over us, literally. Couldn't believe it. The difference in holiday is it's night and day. Don't get me wrong, the villa holidays, I always say there's no right or wrong way to do a Florida holiday. It's just that you are getting to Florida. Get to Florida any way you can. Do you know what I mean? But when you stay on property, it does take it to the next level. And it's worth it. You know, we upgraded to because I think you just got the minimum dining plan, so we upgraded to the full dining plan, where we get the sit down meal as well, and we live like kings for a week. And then after that we went out to a villa and we were looking for accommodation back on Disney property to get back, because we just walked into the villa and it was a nice enough villa. It just wasn't the same.
Oh wow. Well, let's just think collectively about when you go about and book a Disney holiday, because I've said on the show about how I do it and how I seek to give out advice about it. And I was just wondering, because obviously you're travelling with 2 children, and sometimes you go with extended family, and I know you've got a big monster trip booked. How do you go about deciding what to do?
The way the family do it, the family say, you're the Disney nerds, you're the planners, we're happy to do whatever you want.
Oh, the pressure. It's
a lot of pressure. And Kerry takes 90% of that pressure on herself. She is the chief planner in this. So we'll have the spreadsheet with the days laid out. And then you just throw mud at the wall then, and some of it sticks, and it's evolving all the time, because you've got your dates that are the windows. So you've got your important dates, 180 days, your 60 days, but you can't have a plan for 180 days. That's got to be done 200 days out, 250 days out, and then that evolves. And people, we take it down to the family. We say, right, this is what the itinerary is up to this point. Are you happy with this? Now, Nanny and Grandad are both 70 next year. Grandad has a electric and ECV, or whatever they're called. We think Nanny might have one next year, because she's fallen to pieces as well. So it's really going to be a challenging holiday next year. Last time we all went as a group, 2015, and we did a villa. And we nearly killed Nanny and Grandad that year.
Oh no, what happened?
Just exhaustion. Because with the way we plan a holiday this is the last time you're ever going back.
True, because you just don't know what's ahead.
Have no regrets. So as you're walking past Twister, I know it's no longer there, but as you're walking past Twister at Universal, just go and ride it. It's not the best ride in the world, and you can transfer that across to some of the Disney things. Monsters in Clafford. Just go and sit in there. Just have the air conditioning, have the weight off your feet, because it might be gone next time you go back. You might never go back.
True, good point.
And so consequently, there was a couple of mornings, you've got to think that at this point they're in the 60s, there's arthritis and new knees and everything like that. They just can't do it. They can't do the 15-hour days that we put in. So next year is going to be Well, no, we went last year, and that was just with Carla and Phil, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and their 2 kids, Jack 7 and Rose 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't believe that you shouldn't take babies. I think, why deprive the other child of the magic just because you've got a baby?
True.
A 7-year-old, my nephew Jack is, and again, this is going over to Universal, he lost his mind when he met Optimus Prime. That wouldn't happen if, we'll go when the baby's 3 or we'll go when the baby's 4.
Because it's missed his optimum time then, hasn't it?
Because he's missed his chance. Babies are a doddle over there. They are so easy to manage. You've got all the baby care points throughout all through the Walt Disney parks. Everywhere's air conditioned. They sleep in the pram. Even up like 9 months old, whatever, they sleep in the pram. They get fed. They go back down. They get carried for a bit. They're a doddle. It's when they become toddlers that they're a nightmare. That's when they need managing, honestly. But then, some of the memories we got from last year of Rose meeting the Disney princesses, because we had this itinerary, we had this plan, so Carla shopped accordingly and dressed Rose up to match the princesses she was going to meet on the day.
Oh, and this is all down to the fact that you've planned it, you fast passed it, and you knew a schedule for the day. Yeah,
exactly. And it was, she's only my niece, but she's only my niece, but we'd all have tears in our eyes because the princess would spend so much time with that little baby. She'd toddle over and they don't really pick them up, but they'll give them a hug and all that. Some of them would pick them up. Some of them wouldn't because of their costumes and whatnot, but it was just amazing. And you're making memories for yourself. The baby will never remember them.
True.
But they'll have the photographs, but you'll have the memories. So why deprive yourself of the memories?
Absolutely. I'm completely in agreement with you there, because it's more special for the parents, isn't it, to have their, a baby can still react to a pretty face smiling at them.
Exactly. And sometimes when she met Groot, she did not like Groot. But it was hysterical because the character reacts, and we're all laughing, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I don't buy into not meeting the characters. They are an integral part of any holiday.
Absolutely. I must admit, on the cruise, we've got scheduled character meets, because some of them you can book in advance and some of them they just turn up and you find out by looking on the day's navigator. But we've got them, we want to meet them, we want to do this, because the interactions that you can have are such good fun. I
was in a queue. I think it was our solo visit I think it was the Port Orleans one, 2014. And it was in the Art of Animation area, which is now all Star Wars meet and greets. It was when you could meet the Incredibles and Mary Poppins and Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, all them. I'm in a queue to meet Mary Poppins and the Penguins. Kerry was down there, so I was just in the queue, and there was a severely disabled little girl in front of me who was blind and deaf, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. The whole queue was sobbing. It was absolutely wonderful. Mary Poppins spent so much time, and she communicated like with touch, so she was touching Mary Poppins' face, Mary Poppins' letter.
Oh God, I'm tearing up myself now, and I weren't even there.
And I'm shouting Kerry over because we're next in the queue, and the little girl goes off, and Kerry comes to me, and what are you crying for? I've got tears running down my face. It was just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
I must admit, I've seen some of the Make-A-Wish children sort of being sort of brought in, and they, the people that are with normally say to the person at the front of the line, I've got a Make-A-Wish child, can I put them in the line now? And it's like, yeah, sure, this child's time's precious. And just watching the interaction, I think it was with the characters from Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah. And, it was just amazing. It really, really was. Disney cast members who take on these roles are just outstanding.
Yeah, they're absolutely unbelievable. I mean, our Grace met Mickey Mouse when she was 18 months old. She'd gone when she was 8 months old, and we went a year later just so that we could have a family holiday on our own. And she toddled over to Mickey Mouse, give him a big hug. He come down to her level, and she kissed him on the end of the nose. And we were sobbing everybody in the queue was sobbing. You know what Americans are like? Oh, that's so awesome. And every time he tried to stand up, she'd pull him back in and give him another hug. And you're depriving yourself of all that.
Absolutely. Oh, that's lovely, Craig. So your next trip, you mentioned it's costing you quite a bit on the old flight.
Yeah.
Where are you staying and how did you make that decision to stay there with the quite complex needs of the group you're taking?
Well, this is the first time, touch wood, everybody is going on the holiday. So there's 15 of us.
Oh, my word.
So Kerry's brothers and their families have never come with us. They've never just been, but they've got twins. They're the same age as Jack, and they're desperate to come. So they're both 70 and 50 years married.
Wow.
So we did have a huge villa booked, and I'll tell you, for 3 weeks it was £10,000. This villa, it was amazing, right? But last year, because we went and stayed 4 nights at the Hard Rock at Universal and then 2 weeks at Disney's Beach Club, when we come back and we were telling Nanny and Grandad how amazing Onsite was, they changed their mind and said, actually, we'd like a piece of that cake.
Oh.
So next year, 15 of us.
Wow.
So it's 5 nights at the Hard Rock. That's enabling us to do Universal at a more gentler pace, because as much as I love Universal, you can have both of them parks done in a day if you power walk round and you've got your express passes, which you will have staying on a Hard Rock. But we're going to take it a bit more leisurely. We're going to have a bit more pool time. We're going to have some beers around the pool and all that type of stuff. Just spread it out over the 5 days. And then we've got 2 weeks at the Beach Club again, because that area in Disney is something else. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's just to sit on your balcony. We got upgraded last year. We didn't even realise we got upgraded until we got home. We had a balcony view of the lake.
Oh.
So I could sit there every morning and ponder last night's events. I was usually uploading a video to YouTube. They're all on my YouTube channel. They're all on the After Dark Podcast Network channel. So I'd be sitting there editing a video, uploading it to get it off my phone, basically, to keep the space. Drinking a coffee, watching the friendship boats chugging along, just watching the runners running round. It was just, the gardeners mowing the lawn, all that. Not a cloud in the sky, just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just that view of the boardwalk, just amazing.
I must admit that part of Walt Disney World is a part I've never stayed at. I've only stayed at Swan and Dolphin, which is kind of nearish. But Kat and Lewis are staying there this year and they're really excited, so I might see if I can cobble an invite to go and have a look in the room.
Don't get me wrong, right? All the rooms in Florida are basically the same. Whether you're staying on International Drive or the Hard Rock or all of the Disney resorts, unless you're staying in different, they're not called rooms, so to speak. You've both got queen size beds. You've both got basically the same floor space. Some of them are a little bigger, some of them are a little smaller. It's tight for a family of 4, even in the beach club, but you're paying for not the luxury as such, but the location. It is a different level of, there's no bad Disney hotels, is there? Let's be honest.
True.
There's just different, the more nearer the magic. The closer they are, the better the experience, because I like to put a value on my time when I'm over there. It's the same reason why I don't decorate a house. I don't hang wallpaper. I'll go to work to earn the money to pay somebody to do it properly, rather than take the time off and do it badly, if you know what I mean. That's how I figure out a Disney holiday. So if I can save time, so I'm not driving down International Drive, I'm not getting up at 6:30 in the morning, when I can get up at 7:30 in the morning at a Disney hotel and get to the magic closer, quicker, with less stress. That's how I work it all out.
And you've got dining plan as well on this trip.
Dining plan, it's just something else, isn't it? You just get spoiled. At the end, on the last day last year, we filled our suitcases with sweets that we've still got in the house now. Because but the staff know, all the cast members know what you're doing, because that's what everybody does. And they're just like that. Get them. They're helping you.
And this is because you've not used all your snack credits.
Yeah, because that's at the start of the 2 weeks, you're absolutely petrified you're going to run out by the end of the 2 weeks. So you're a little bit frugal. You will even sometimes buy a snack rather than use a snack credit because you don't think that snack is value for money. One of the top tips from last year's dining plan, right, was we were getting the kids apple juice. So that's a snack credit. And it would be one of them small 500 millilitres or whatever, 330 millilitre bottles of apple juice. And it was on like the second to last day. I went into the Starbucks and I said, can I have apple juice in a cup on the dining plan? Oh, yeah. And he gave us a grande cup, for the largest coffee.
Oh, my word.
Full of apple juice.
And that was a credit?
One snack credit. So all holiday we'd been scrimping around with these little tiny bottles of apple juice when we could have just been showering ourselves in all the apple juice.
That is a good point about Starbucks, because it really bugs me that people go in and they're using the dining plan and they're getting a tall drink, and it's like, no, don't get a tall drink. It's the same price to have what their biggest one over there is a Trenta, isn't it?
Yeah,
which is basically a bucket.
Yeah.
Get the big one and share it if you have to, if you can't drink all that coffee or whatever beverage that you're choosing. But get the biggest one because you want to get the maximum value out of your snack credits.
And I've always been a snob when it comes to me coffee in America, because it's so hot. Why would I want a coffee? So I've never ever, and I've always gone, Starbucks in the parks. Well, but you know what? Starbucks is amazing. Because all them iced coffees are off their head.
I've never had an iced coffee just because the idea of coffee and ice cubes just freaks me out.
Don't get a black one. Make sure it's a latte. Make sure you've got a milk in it, and it makes all the difference.
Okay. I might go and try one today. If the weather comes up a little bit warmer, I might go and try, because Craig said I've got to try cold coffee.
I had one in London the other day. Divine.
All right.
Absolutely divine. So, next year's holiday.
Yes.
And I don't mind. I'll tell people the cost. There's no shame in that. It helps other people make the plans. Basically, I got into a bidding war with Virgin Holidays at the Liverpool Debenhams branch. Wanted me business.
Yeah.
And Travel City Direct. I swear by Kenwood Travel. Ali at Kenwood Travel. I'm waving to you, girl. Right. Kenwood Travel was snowed under on the big day in the UK is the day the dining plan is released.
Yeah.
The phones are off the hook. Everything is mental. Kenwood Travel just didn't get back to me until it was too late.
Oh.
But the others went at each other. Now, Travel City Direct is Virgin Holidays. It's just the budget version of Virgin Holidays. Okay. I work, again, hold my hand up, I work for Virgin. I work for Virgin Trains. I'm a train driver. So we get 10% discount. So Travel City were giving us discount. Virgin Holidays were giving us discount. But then they give me my staff discount, but then to get the business, they were coming back at each other. And I was saying, right, mate, I'm going with you on Travel City. I'm going with you because you've done so much work for me. I can't believe you've knocked so much money off. Thank you. And he'd go, right, okay, just let me go and sort type in all this paperwork and everything, and I'll ring you back in 10 minutes. And in then 10 minutes, Virgin Holidays were ringing me up. And I was going, look, I've just told Travel City I'm going with them. And why are you going with them? Well, because they've done A, B, C, D and E for me. Well, we'll do all that, and we're going to give you the lounge at Manchester, and to make sure we get your business, we're going to knock another £150 off per person.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, oh, why are you doing this to me? Okay, I'm going with you now. Like that. And that's what happened. And I had to break the phone call to Travel City that we were going with Virgin Holidays after I told Travel City.
But how much did you save though? 150 off each person?
Yeah. And there's 15 of us.
Wow.
With me staff discount on top, with the $200 gift card per family, not per booking, per family in the booking. So that's a day spender money in itself. With the V Lounge, which Travel City weren't giving us, but then when I told them that Virgin were giving us it, they were going to give us it as well. Yeah. So this is what it was like. I was so stressed out, and because there's so many people in the booking, them rooms, I need them rooms. So I had to book on that day because I couldn't wait. A lot of the times, if we're doing a villa holiday, we'll book fly dry flights. Some years we've waited for 11 months. We'll do the DIY side of the holiday. But because there was so many people going, I wanted the protection of having a travel agent take care of everything. So it's quite a funny story, actually. Basically, 2 weeks after the booking in total, right, premium economy both ways, on the best Virgin flights of the day, so the earlier and the later coming home. 5 nights at the Hard Rock, park tickets included, Disney 2 weeks, beach club, dining plan, all the other stuff, £58,000. Yeah. For my individual family of 4, £15,000. But that is everything. The only thing you need there is a bit of spending money. And you know what it's like in Disney. You don't really spend money when you're on the dining plan.
Well, this is it. When you divide that 58,000 amongst 15, you get just under £4,000 per person. But that's your tickets, that's your food, that's your accommodation, that's your flight, that's even the lounge at the airport. To be honest, you're not going to need anything else on top of that, apart from, as you say, your souvenirs, but you're getting a $200 gift card per family.
And this is the thing, all the people we normally buy presents for are with us. And they've all got their own $200 gift card. So, boom. Now, this is where the story gets interesting.
Oh, go on.
2 weeks after we've made the booking, my sister-in-law gets in touch. Got some news. Okay, I'm pregnant. Okay, well, I basically said, look, last year's holiday was ruined because you brought the baby with you. It's all tongue in cheek. So you've ruined this holiday now anyway. So what does it matter? Who cares? You're pregnant. We've got 2 arthritic pensioners. We've got a toddler who, our Rose is now 2 and has very much got her own opinion on everything. So who cares? There's a baby. There's 15 of us. There's now 16 of us. Don't worry about it. She went for her 12-week scan.
No, it's not.
It's twins. So there's 17 of us now. Absolutely wonderful news. So they've got an 8-year-old. He's just turned 8, so he'll be 9 next year. Rose will be 3, and they're going to have 2 9-month-old twins.
Yay!
With 2 arthritic pensioners and a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh, Craig, this is going to be one heck of a trip report. I can't wait till next year to hear about it.
Last year was the first time I've really drank on a holiday in Florida. Apart from the odd little tipple here and there, most holidays, because you want to be compos mentis, you've spent all this money, you've spent all this time planning, you don't really want to ruin it by having a hangover. So I don't really drink over there. Last year we drank over there because we were on property, we weren't driving cars, we were walking back to our hotel. It was amazing. Because you're not just drinking Diet Coke or cloudy lemonade. They've got such an array of wonderful alcoholic drinks in Disney.
They have. I was listening to your show literally last night. I was driving back and they were talking about all the different places you can drink in Disney Springs, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of places.
If you start at one end of Disney Springs, you will be talking double Dutch at the other end of Disney Springs. If you go and have a drink in every one.
And they're not all the same either. They're all uniquely themed.
And that's what it's all about. That's the magic of Disney. You can get a Bud Light dilly-dilly anywhere. But to get all the, me and Nick last year, we were in, what's that one? The hangar place, Jock Lindsay's.
Oh, yeah.
And it was empty because it was the middle of the day. We only had a couple of pints. One of Nick's biggest regrets is that he didn't get a signature drink. But it was beautiful in there, and they've done such an amazing job of Disney Springs. It's a day out on it in itself. Now, whereas it used to be just a shopping experience, we had a blinding meal in the Irish bar in what's it called? I'm terrible with names.
Raglan Road.
Yes. Now, we've only ever had a pint in there, but last year because we were on the dining plan, that's where we ate, and there was a full show on the stage. There was all the Irish girls doing the jigs, there was singers. The place was bouncing, absolutely bouncing, and we could have a drink because it didn't matter.
Fabulous stuff. So you've got the dining plan for this upcoming trip. Which level did you plump for?
The main dining plan, so we've got the quick service and the sit-down meal every day. We haven't gone to the next level. Now, it's changed, hasn't it, this year?
Yeah.
So you've got your 2 snack credits, you've got an alcoholic drink with a quick service meal if they sell them, and you've got an alcoholic drink with your sit down. And this is having ramifications and knock-ons for the team members, the cast members, because people are now asking for the wine menu, the cocktail menu, whereas normally, because they're on the dining plan, because it's Disney, they might just get a Diet Coke or whatever. But now they're like, everyone's picking their alcoholic drink of choice. And it's adding 10, 15, 20 minutes onto the dining experience.
Which is meaning there's going to be delays with people who have got the next ADR because they're turning round the tables.
Yes. One of the best days of our holiday last year was we had Hollywood Studios' Fantasmic dinner package booked. And we went to the Italian, Mama Melrose. I have always walked past that place and didn't particularly like the look of it. But we always eat in the Hollywood and Vine, and we always eat in 50s prime time. We always eat in Sci-Fi Diner. So we try something new, and we've done everything in Hollywood Studios because, you know, it's a bit of a car crash at the moment. It's not really a full day park, so we'd smashed it all the day before. So this day was basically, we've got a couple of fast passes booked. We've got the Fantasmic dinner package booked. We went in at about, I think the booking was about 1:30 maybe, something like that. So we were going in for lunch, and then we were going to have a meander around the park and then do Fantasmic. Tammy was the cast member. She was out of this world. It was a rainy day. So we just said, look, Tammy, we've got nothing planned. We're going to have some beers. We're going to have some Prosecco. We're just going to take our time with this meal. Fantasmic dinner package. She just took her time. You get a different menu. So because it was the Fantasmic dinner package, you got a starter, a mains and a dessert. So I think I had the steak that day, but me and Phil were on the beer. The girls were on the Prosecco. The kids we just got them all whatever drinks they wanted. So they were all the glowy, flashing ice cube drinks and all that palaver. We were in there for a good 3 hours, and Tammy's getting a tip, because it's the dinner package and all that. So she's getting a tip. We had some fabulous interactions with her. She come out, and it was when the Pixar music was on in the...
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Now, they were giving them as dinner packages as well. And she said, look, we've got a load of these tickets here. Bearing in mind there's 7 and a baby. Here's some passes for the Pixar. You can go and watch that as well if you want. So she gave us passes for that. Then we had our Fantasmic. It was just a relaxed... We let some of the fast passes we had slide. We just left them. We just didn't do it. We just stayed in the air conditioning with Tammy. She got a wonderful tip. We took photos with her. Just a wonderful person. Couldn't do enough for us. Again, our holidays are evolving now. Whereas the 15-hour days where you're like that smash, 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 they still happen. But sometimes you just need to take your time out.
I think that is an fantastic piece of advice to end this recording on, because, you know, as much as we're planners, sometimes it's time to decide to get that plan, throw it out of the window, kick your shoes off and say, do you know what, I'm just going to stay here for the next hour and a half, have a drink, have a leisurely meal, and just see what happens. The world will not end if I don't meet that fast pass.
Well, I'll just tell you quickly the day we nearly killed Jack Taylor.
Oh gosh, go on.
It's Animal Kingdom Day. It's the first summer that Pandora is open. So we were there for early park admission, right? We went to Pandora. We did the riverboat twice with no queue whatsoever. And then we went and had breakfast in the cantina, which was beautiful. And then we left that land and we went and spent all day in Animal Kingdom. And then we went back for our fast pass and did Flight of Passage, which you'll understand when I say, when I got off that ride, I had tears running down my face because it was so intense. It was like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. You know, very much like Harry Potter the first time I did the Hogwarts Castle. It just blew me socks off, right? So we spent all day. We went and had the Rivers of Light dinner package at the character Buffy place.
Tusker House.
Yes, what a fantastic meal. Fantastic character interactions. We were in a little corner of the restaurant, so the characters were giving us so much more time. It was beautiful, right? And then, so bearing in mind we've been in the park since early park admission, then we went to see Rivers of Light. So them poor children had been in that park for, 15 hours at this point, something like that.
Word.
And it was just too much for Jack Taylor, and he lost it. And he was hysterical. He was sobbing. The red mist had come down, and it was heartbreaking to watch. And as you know, we were saying, just take him, just go. We'll stay here with the baby. You just take him, calm. But he calmed down eventually. But it was hard to watch. So just break it up when you've got the kids.
Yeah.
You do after this time, this new plan, we will be doing Animal Kingdom, but it'll be over 2 days. You know, so we'll be having an early start one day in there, coming out early, and then we'll have a late start another day and going in late. You know, just little things like that, because it was heartbreaking to watch. So don't kill your kids on holiday.
Absolutely, and it's nothing worse as being a passerby and seeing a child having a meltdown because of working in education. My first instinct is to go and offer them, you know, some help, and as a parent then they'll say, go away, you strange woman, you can't come and interfere. But do you know what I mean? It's heartbreaking, because those of us who have got children know exactly how those parents are feeling. It's like, please, everybody's looking, please calm down, we'll go now, come on, just get yourself together. But it's got to that point where this volcano is erupting and there's nothing you can do. You just have to let all that lava flow out and the child erupt. If you can get them across to a childcare centre, then they will quite happily let him have their little temper tantrum and meltdown in there. But yeah, it's awful. It
was hard. And the show might have been cancelled that night because it had been on and off rain. So it was one of them judgment calls. Do we stay? Do we go? Do we stay? Do we go? And we ended up staying. And the show went on. And it was a nice show. I wouldn't say there's any bad shows at Disney, but that's all I'll say on it. It's a nice show.
Come on, Craig, give yourself a shout out where you can be found in the world of podcasting.
Primarily Diz After Dark and Universal After Dark. Both wonderful shows, so go and head us up there. We love interaction.
They do indeed. They are incredibly a lot more active on Twitter than we are, and the shows give a really unique male perspective point of view. But you've also got wonderful female addition to the team who's been on board. How long's she been with you now? About a year?
She might be coming up to her 2-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
I think so. We found Amanda on YouTube from her YouTube channel, and we just reached out to her, and she's just wonderful. She keeps us all in tow anyway. Put it this way, some of the earlier Diz After Darks might have been a bit close to the knuckle, a bit inappropriate, so don't go and listen to them. Amanda has calmed us down and we're a lot more sensible now. We still have a laugh. Come and enjoy.
Yeah, put a pond down to the mouse's head. I am sure you will have a good time. Well, Craig, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking with you, and here's to talking a little bit more in the future.
Thank you very much for having me. It was boss.
Awesome.